What's going on, everybody? I am Perry White. I'm the host of the Jaguar Journal. I want to make sure that you guys tune in live each and every Saturday morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on 107.3 FM. We also have our affiliates in Alexandria, Louisiana, as well as down in New Orleans. And if you're not able to catch us on radio live, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel as well as follow us on Facebook. It's the Jaguar Journal.
Opinionated, outspoken, informative. The Jaguar Journal. Your source for the latest information on Southern University sports and SWAC athletics. A Baton Rouge sports talk tradition.
All right, everybody, bright and early on a Saturday morning. It's the Jaguar Journal, and I am Perry White. Good to have you guys with us. We're getting closer to the Christmas holidays. I want to say Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy all of that, whoever for out there. And if you don't celebrate it, that's fine as well, too. Just happy holidays to you. Happy New Year. The kids are out of school. I know the teachers about to get this much needed break. Where my teachers at? Any teachers out there? How y'all feeling? The educators. You glad for it to be over with? You've been looking forward to this break? All right, checking this. All right. So got my man Mike here in the studio. I'm back from Atlanta last week. Of course, I was out in Atlanta for the Celebration Bowl as well as the Band of the Year event for which Southern University's marching band won an award. And we're going to have Dr. Kedrick Taylor here on the show at some point this morning to talk about that. And, hey, I must say, they were the first to start in the A and end in the A. And that's Atlanta for those out there that don't get it. Southern started the season at Atlanta playing against North Carolina Central in the MEAC SWAC Challenge. And that was with the football and the band. But then the band found its way to Atlanta for postseason before football did. And Warner, as John Grant told me, this was a national championship. And he said, please treat it as such. So I'm going to make sure I treat it as such. See my man Edwin Moore, good morning. Willie Bowden, good morning. Emmett. Oh, my man Kevin Walker, what's up? The Walker brothers, man, some of the coolest guys, man, you can meet. Saying good morning from Dallas. My man Chuck up there in Monroe. Good morning, Chuck. Getting it going this morning. It's a little chilly outside this morning. Look, I got a show lined up for y'all, but y'all know in the morning I got to get cranked up. I got to get started a little bit. It's tough to come in for that 7 o'clock. It's always the toughest, probably between 7 and 7:30 for me. Because now football season is over. I'm not officiating games on Friday and Thursday nights at this point of the year. Southern isn't doing anything right now in terms of the sports. So I'm back doing what I do on Friday nights, Mike. I'm back doing what I do on Friday nights. That's out socializing. So I socialized a little bit last night. Ain't gonna lie, it's rough on me this morning, but I'm here. I am here. Of course, I'm going to talk. I know that's what y'all want. You want to talk about Southern football. You want to talk about the coaching staff, and I'm going to do that for you. My man Kevin Baptiste is going to join me here in the studio at the 8 o'clock hour, and we're going to talk about that. You guys can call in, and we'll talk about it with you if you got any questions, if you want to talk. Tell me how you feel, what your thoughts are. By 8 o'clock, I should be good and cranked up. All right, I should be good and cranked up right now. I'm the old school car right now. Y'all remember that old school car that had 3 keys? My mom had, I'll tell you, one of our first cars was a Cutlass Supreme. 2-door Cutlass Supreme. Candy paint blue. It had a key for the door. It had a key to start the car. It had a key for the gas. And the gas was in the back where the license plate said. You don't remember cars like that, do you, Mike? See, you new world, man. The gas, when you put the gas in the car, you had to let the license plate down and untwist it where the trunk is, and then you had to fill the gas up right there. Then you had to have a key for the trunk. So that's 4 keys. Then you needed a key for the glove compartment box. It's about 5 keys you needed for that car, Mike. That's a lot of keys, huh? But those cars then, my job in the morning was, before school, go start the car, and they used to say, just let it run. Tap the gas a little bit, warm the car up. I would always get in trouble because I go out there and I just floor it. I'm talking about. And my mom look out the door, get back in the house. I'm like, all right. So you leave the car out there, you let the car warm up. But I would floor it. That was my job in the morning. Go warm the car up. You go outside, cut the heat on in the car, and get it going. That's me this morning. I'm trying to floor it, but I'm trying to get it going. So by the time 8 o'clock comes, look, we're going to be ready to roll. We're going to be ready to drive and cut up the street. But do y'all remember that, though? Or have y'all forgotten where we come from? The car with the 6 keys, right? And that Cutlass Supreme, man, that 2-door got us everywhere. You roll the window down with the rolling thing, let it roll it down. That thing got us everywhere. Everybody, y'all don't remember that, man. Y'all done got too fancy on me. Y'all don't remember that. Good morning to everybody. Glad to have you guys with us. We had some technical difficulties last week here with the show, but y'all let us know if everything is straight out there. I'll say, Kevin, you remember that, Kevin? You know something about that? That was my job, man. You go warm the car up. I thought I was doing something. I get the steering wheel. I thought driving the same way my son is now. I thought driving was the steering wheel going left to right at all times. Bouncing around like I was in a Model T with no power steering, just bouncing around left to right. Found out that's not what it is. Great times. Great times. All right, today's show, we're going to have Coach Brittany Williams from Southern University softball. She's going to come on and talk to us about a camp that she has coming up. My man Kevin Baptiste is going to join us here in the studio. He's going to talk about, with me, the Southern University football staff who have been named in terms of offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, as well as general manager under Coach Marshall Falk. And as well as later on in the show, my man, Dr. Kedrick Taylor, director of bands at Southern University, is going to talk to us about Southern University's marching band winning the Band of the Year, a prestigious honor for Southern's band, which makes them the #1 band. And this was an ESPN event sponsored by Red Lobster, and it was nationally televised on one of the ESPNs. It's so many of them. I don't know if it was Deportes. I don't know if it was Plus. It was one of them. But nonetheless, this event was nationally televised and had an opportunity for people across the world to see. And so We're going to talk to them about that and get that great honor of, look, we talk about one thing I do enjoy about Southern. You want to be a winner when you're talking about Southern, and whether you win in the classroom, on the field, marching, whatever the case may be. Anytime we can bring home a trophy or bring home any recognition, whether it be an Emmy, whatever the case may be, and we can bring that back to Southern, that's just us leveling up one more thing. And at the end of the day, I'm glad we was able to do that. I'm glad we was able to get it and bring it on back home to old Southern University. Bring it on back to the Bluff. Had to go against Florida A&M. Now, some of my old school Jaguars out there, I get it. The rivalry of Southern and FAMU. I don't think the new school has quite accepted it as a rivalry because it was so many years of a break. But I went into that environment last week of the old school. I channeled my old school Jaguar spirit. And when I looked over there at those colors of FAMU, I said, I don't like those people. I tried to channel it. I thought, how would the ancestors feel about FAMU from Southern? And they look over there and they see them and say, that's a rival. We don't like them. And I channeled that. I did the best I could. Now I got to do the best that I can right now with taking a break because we got to pay some bills. So you guys stay tuned. We'll be right back. More of the Jaguar Journal. All right?
By Carlos Funchess' group. He's in his 8th season at Southern. Actually been on campus for 21 years with the program. Anywhere in the SWAC to win an NCAA tournament game.
Well, that pressure caused a turnover for Arizona.
Oh, nice bucket by Porter. Arizona in its 53rd season of basketball, trying to defend in the paint, and that is just tough to defend off the window. Porter.
You put it on the ground as a post player. I always said no more than one dribble, but it's just show and go, and she said, give me the ball.
Tate inside, beautiful pass, finished by Hall. For the Lady Jags is 7. Sugapong throwing up a prayer that is not answered. Purdue connects. Nice take by Lagway. Came up short. Cam Kitchen all alone. She's not going to miss from there.
Yeah, she took off, you know.
And this is with leading scorer Hurston being held to just 2 points. That triple is good. Tremendous make and take by Arizona with an opportunity to add to its 6-0 run. Chance of U of A coming down. Purdue for 3. You betcha. 8 points. Mickey Purdue with a dozen to lead all scorers. Nice find. 3 on the way is wet. Okay, Dixon. Lady Jags will back it back out. Corner 3. That is good. Dixon from either side of the floor. She now has 3 made three-pointers on the season, 2 here. And Cunningham back out. Got to get it up. And that 3 is good by Reed, bringing rain out of the cloud. 28 minutes, in fact. Step through is good by Lagway. I thought she was going to get tripped up. She does not. What a finish.
That was a really nice basket by Delancey, and Arizona forced a lot. Oh, that was a great basket by Francois.
Nice answer by Arizona.
If they can on the sideline, there it is, and there it is.
Cunningham gives it up. Purdue pushing pace.
And a foul. If they can on the sideline, there it is, and there it is.
Cunningham gives it up. Purdue pushing pace.
And a foul. And a foul.
Too strong. Francois Oboard. Short. Francois again up and in.
Big basket there by Francois following her own miss.
And that is going to do it. Southern can celebrate, and they have earned it.
All right, everybody, we're back. It's the Jaguar Journal. Good morning. I'm Perry White. Glad to have you guys with us. Good morning to everybody listening in the Baton Rouge, capital city area on Talk 107.3 FM. Glad to have you guys with us and everybody watching across the world on our YouTube and Facebook page. You see good morning from Dallas, Vicksburg, and all across the place, man. So good morning to you guys. I'm warming up a little bit more. I've been hitting that gas pedal, trying to make sure I can get myself going. And I saw somebody in the comment section said they wanted me to talk about all of the student athletes that are hitting the transfer portal in terms of football. Well, let me tell you, that's just where we at in college football today. And particularly right now, what we're talking about, college football. That's where we at. Students are jumping around looking for opportunity. You're no longer really going to get the 4-year player. And I had this conversation, to go along with this with Lennar Tillery, right? Baton Rouge guy, McKinley High School, Southern grad, Southern's all-time leading running back in rushing yards, and the SWAC's all-time leading in rushing yards. And Tillery and I had this conversation. I said, Till, what's crazy, I don't think anybody's ever going to break your record, dude. And we kind of had the conversation. He was like, records are meant to be broken. I'm like, yeah, they are. But remember, you came and trusted the process at Southern, and you played 4 years of football at Southern. Kids aren't sticking around at schools or within conferences long enough to have their yardage or stats tallied up to the point to break records. Now think, before Till broke the SWAC's all-time leading rushing record, it was Destry Wright at Jackson State. And Destry broke this record, and it stood from the late 90s all the way until Till broke it in 2017. Matter of fact, I think he broke the record when we played on the road at Alcorn. I think it was 17, 16. It was one of those years. But like the conversation was, man, hey, nobody's sticking around part of these programs like that no more. Now, I'll put it to you like this. You do have some. Take a North Carolina Central when you look at like a Walker Harris who stuck around to be a part of that program, but he had to wait his turn. He didn't come in as an immediate 4-year starter. But with this transfer portal, and I think at some point we have to have some form of control of it. I just saw TJ Finley. I think TJ Finley is headed to his 5th or 6th school. Former Ponchatoula quarterback in high school. He went to LSU. He went to Texas State. He went to a bunch of places. I can't even name all of them. And he's transferring now, trying to get another year of eligibility for, I believe, his 6th school. It has to be his 5th or 6th school. And you will be amazed when you really pay attention to this, because a lot of us don't pay attention to players until they end up at your school. Then you kind of do your research on where this guy comes from. But there are plenty of kids that are never going to end up at the school to play for your school that are out there that's been to multiple schools. It's absolutely crazy. But that's where we at with the transfer portal. Since you asked me to speak on it, it is the new way. Ex-Prairie View coach Tremaine Jackson, whose team just played in the Celebration Bowl last week. 70 new players on the roster. I covered the Celebration Bowl last week when I went to the press conference, had an opportunity to talk to Tremaine. Tremaine said, in this day and age, if you're not doing a roster turnaround to 50 to 60 players, what are you doing? It's the nature of the beast now. Tough. That's why I think you see the old school coaches getting out. They're looking for guys they want to be in their programs and develop them up. And on top of, know what it's like to have to deal with adversity. Adversity is, hey, you're not the starter right now. Learn, get better, develop. You'll be that guy. In this day and age with student athletes, we all truly understand that this is a new student athlete. Y'all watch the commercial, it's my money and I want it now. That's the student athlete. Now, they're all not like that now. I'm not trying to generalize everybody, right? But for the most part, that's the student athlete of today. They are simply moving on because I don't have time to waste. You want me to sit for 2 years and learn and figure it out and play a little bit here and a little bit there? Yeah. No, well, I'll go somewhere else. On top of, I think now we live in the world of coaches. I hate to say it, but not being coaches, babying. Trying to spoil you, give you everything you want so you won't leave instead of being tough on you. It's a whole new world. So don't be surprised as your favorite team starts to have roster turnover unless your favorite team has plenty of money to keep that. I think right now a lot of people are surprised that Jackson State, considering they won a SWAC East title, competed for a SWAC championship, hosted another SWAC championship, and then the next day, as time folded and rolled on from the SWAC championship, you saw all of these guys hit the transfer portal, and people like, why are they leaving a championship program? Well, today, when you have a championship, let me tell you something, especially on this level, FCS. It's 3 ways this thing can work, particularly what we're talking about football. One of those ways is you get the high school kid who comes out of high school under-recruited and you bring him in. The other way is you get that high school kid, you bring him in, you recruit him, and you develop him. He has a breakout season his sophomore year, all conference, turning heads. You know how hard it's going to be to keep that guy his junior and senior year? He's looking to take off. He's looking for that opportunity he wanted out of high school. He got overlooked. But then he comes to the FCS school, you develop him, and you show that, hey, this kid got some talent. The big school's looking around for it at all times, trying to figure out, basically like a farm lead, who can we pull up? Oh, here's a kid that's all SWAC. Here's a kid that's a finalist for a Buck Buchanan Award. Here's a kid where you look at his stats. Hey, we can bring him into our program and put him into a strength and conditioning, dietetic and nutrition program. Hey, this kid could be a beast for us. On top of, we got a bag for you. Now, that's one way. And that way typically has the coaches nervous of recruiting the high school kid because they feel, well, we do the work, the kid going to take off for somebody else to reap the benefits. It's the nature of the beast. The other way is the kid that you couldn't get out of high school because he was heavily recruited and he went to the big school. Couldn't make it past the practice squad. Highly touted, highly recruited out of high school. Everybody wanted him. His name rung bells. He had the stars. And then by the time he come to us, he was the former 3-star, former 4-star in high school. By the time he get to us, them stars don't matter because if they did align the right way, he wouldn't have never left where he was at. So on the other side of it is now you get the guy who was that stud in high school and everybody wanted, and he goes off to the other side. He gets a taste of the big boys. No pun intended. Pause. I don't even like how I said that. He gets a taste of cut that out, Mike. He gets a taste of the big school. There we go. Wow. And gets an opportunity to see what it's like. You got these resources, these amenities, the money, but you don't get the playing time. By the time we see you, the only film you got at that big school is on practice squad. Like, damn, this kid was a great kid. Hey, he was knocking heads off at practice. We say practice. Practice. We're talking about practice. And then he gets to our level and we say, well, the potential was there. If he gets here and play down, we can get him to play up to what he's supposed to be in terms of that form or whatever it is. That's kind of where we at with the in-between. Now, our schools, of course, we want the kid who probably played at the big school and then come down. The way I'm looking at the world of college football today, I think we're a little bit out of our league sometime for the FCS schools. And I speak in terms, I guess I would say Southern. Because if you're going to get that player that you thought was elite from that big school, he ain't leaving that big school to come to you unless the big school didn't want him no more. Because if the big school want him the same way they want the kid that you developing up, they're going to do everything in their power to keep that kid. By the time you get the kid from the big school who the former Tennessee volunteer linebacker who's coming to play at your school now, it's like, all right, we got to go back and watch his high school highlights to remember how good he is. No knock on the kid. I'm just saying that's where we at with the transfer portal. And a lot of times when it comes to that, we're trying to throw a bag at a kid that didn't really make it in his last place. But you got to give him something because they shown him the other side. When they see the other side, it's hard to get them to see anything less. I just left a place with all of these amenities and all of these resources and, money, envelopes. Now they're expecting that when they come to your school, who's the lower tier, lower resources. And I can't match what they gave you over there. I cannot. I got a couple things we can help you out with, right? But I can't give you all of that. That kid comes and then he plays, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. And for many others, they hit the transfer portal to never end up anywhere. I cannot wait till the documentary one day, because we're still living fresh in this era of what this looked like. I cannot wait till one day when the documentary comes out and we get an opportunity to see what the other side of this looks like. When you get kids who end up nowhere, chasing an opportunity, and that opportunity never opens up. And we know most programs, when you hit the portal, the coach is looking at you saying, well, you don't want to be here. Don't worry about coming back. Good riddance, sayonara. Arrivederci. Ciao. Hasta luego. How many other ways you want me to say it? Good night, Irene. That's how they treat it. So in this day and age, if you're a Southern, for instance, you got to accept the fact that when we recruit this high school kid, because that's what everybody constantly says, why don't we recruit the high school kids? The coaches need to be at the games from Baton Rouge to New Orleans and the river parishes. They need to recruit these high school kids. I wholeheartedly agree. But remember, in this age of college football and college athletics, when you recruit that kid and we make that kid better and that kid has a breakout year, because kids are playing as freshmen. This ain't the old days where as a freshman, you're going to sit back, we're going to work on you, get your form right. We're going to put you in the gym. You need to practice. No, you got to play them. If that kid stays in your program 3 years, he most likely is going to leave by his 4th year if he has elevated his game to point of being all conference and turning heads. That's just the nature of the beast. And you got to be okay with it. Hey, glad to have had you. Good luck on your endeavors. That's what's going to come with it. And you can't be upset when the kid hits the transfer portal and you thought, oh, man, he was one of us. These kids, man, Nick Saban can't walk in the house and just have those rings on his hand talking about championships. Come get you one. They like, coach. Okay. Give a damn about that ring. Do you got the money? That's what I'm looking for. You got the cars? That's what I want. And anything else. So we got to understand, when we do recruit the high school kid, most likely don't be surprised and shocked when he leaves to go get opportunities. Let's say you have a breakout year at Southern and then boom, University of Arkansas comes calling. That kid's going to leave. And you just got to be happy for him and be thankful for the time that we had with that kid. Now, there's going to be a kid from the University of Arkansas who then pan out and looking for elsewhere, then he ends up at Southern. And I'm just using this hypothetically, right? Now, for me, I don't have all the high expectations for the transfer down. But I think for me, there's a lot of talent. When I go back to what I was saying, I think sometimes we live beyond our means. I think there's plenty of talent in the D2 ranks. Because my issue with it is, and I know I got to take a break, my issue with it is sometimes guys come down after they've been to the big school. They come down and sometimes think they're a little bit better because they've had an opportunity to see it from the other side now with all of the resources and everything that came along with it. So when they come down, they looking around at you like, all right, yeah, cool. I've seen better. I've had better. But it didn't work out. That's why you here. So they typically, for me, this is for me, they don't quite have that chip on their shoulder. You get that kid that's hungry, that D2 kid who can ball. Everybody's always said he's undersized. Everybody's always said he's not good enough. He comes in and he looks at what you have and say, man, this is everything I've always wanted. And works his butt off in order to make sure that y'all realize this kid right here can ball. So I think we often get too caught up in the transfer portal, especially for our programs, to want the kids from the big school to come down to us. Hey, I'm telling you, there's a lot of talent in that D2 realm of kids in the transfer portal that can help your program, that play with a chip on their shoulder. Those guys that got that heart, that hustle in them, that can do wonders for the program. But we get caught up in the former four-star. We get caught up, he was at this big school. For me, I don't see it that way. I don't see it that way. Let's get ready to take a break. I guess I just kept going and going and going. Mike looking. All right, everybody, let's take a break. We'll be back more to Jaguar Journal.
And Southern trying to make it 2 straight wins against a Power 4. As we see the Houston starting 5, Kiera Merchant is not available today. It's Pagero, Jones, Hunter, Pinumeli. Entry pass, Abdur-Rahim. Beautiful finish and a foul.
All right, everybody, we're back. It's the Jaguar Journal. Good morning. I'm Perry White. Glad to have you guys with us. Good morning to everybody out there listening on Talk 107.3 FM across the Baton Rouge capital city area, and everybody out there watching on our Facebook and YouTube live. Glad to have you guys with us. Be sure to keep up with the Jaguar Journal. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We're on X, Instagram, Facebook, as well as subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're growing. Continue to grow with us, and thank you guys that are out there that have subscribed, that have hit the like button, have hit the follow button. Man, did it cost you anything? It did not. Just 1 second of your time to hit that button and to keep up with us. And, man, and we appreciate you for that because we've seen the numbers going up across all social sites. Forgot about TikTok. Mike on that TikTok. So, keep growing with us. To go back before I get ready to close things out with this, talking about this transfer portal, I think that's why it is important, especially when you look at Coach Falk coming in, taking over Southern. And we'll talk more about the coaching hires and everything else at the 8 o'clock hour. But I was, for someone to ask me to talk about the transfer portal, that's why it is so important in terms of the recruiters these days. You got to be able to recruit every facet in every area all around you. You got to have recruiters that's in the transfer portal evaluating the talent from the kids that's coming from the other schools. Whether it's the big school, that's FBS, whether it's another FCS school, whether it's a D2, D3, NAI, you have to truly evaluate these kids, and you just can't go by the name. and what he formerly used to do. The same way, just as much as you have somebody evaluating the transfer portal, you got to have a whole nother set of eyes evaluating the high school ranks. And you got to have recruiters that handles that specifically. I think now, because of, you can't overwhelm a coach to do all of that these days if you want to be successful, in my opinion. You have to separate coaching from recruiting. And I know the old school days, hey, you saw the coaches, you wanted them to be the recruiters. I think it just gets overwhelming. It's so much to look at. You got to break down film when you look at these guys. And I don't know how much film do you guys watch, because I'm sure a lot of you guys watch highlights, all the best plays for 2-3 minutes. The part that does not happen that a lot of times for the average person, you're not watching the plays that this kid messed up on. You're not watching why this kid is being exposed in certain areas, because of when he gets here, this is the part of the game we need to develop. Kid making hit that A gap and take off as a running back, but he's horrible at pass blocking. Every time you look around, the quarterbacks get blown up when it's his assignment to pass block. But we watched that 3 minutes of him hitting that hole and going up the field. Man, kid's fast, right? That's the part you got to evaluate. So as you evaluate, hey, we see this, what this is, the pros and the cons. This kid right here is excellent in this area, right? We're going to write down everything this kid can do. Hey, vertical. Hey, this kid can hit. He's an outside. You know, he's an east-west guy. Hey, when he cuts it up, hey, he's gone. Now I got to write on the other side. When he gets here, what we need to develop him on. That's where the work is. That's the coaching side. That's what's going to make that kid better, in which he couldn't be good at the other place. And you got to be willing to be tough on the kid instead of just saying, hey, you come here and we'll let you do anything. I heard Tyrann Mathieu say this on his podcast of when he left LSU, or basically he got kicked out of LSU. It ain't like he left. You kicked him out. And he said a coach at McNeese said, hey, you can come here and do whatever you want. He said, I'm glad I did not take that, because at that time, it was no way I should go somewhere and you just let me do whatever I want. You got to develop. So as much as you watch all those beautiful highlights, oh, man, that kid's wonderful, isn't he? You got to watch the bad that come with the good. Because trust me, the bad going to show its ugly head in the game. You got the kid so hyped up, and now, boom, you're going to be like, oh. Because guess what? It ain't 3 minutes of highlights. You got the full video now right in front of you, live and live in color. But I say all that to say, in this day and age, you have to have evaluators as your recruiters, and they have to be one side for the transfer portal, one side for the high school ranks. That is success today. And you got to have plenty of them. I say no less than 5 or 6. And for me, 6, 3 that's evaluating high school talent and 3 that's evaluating college talent. Because going that transfer portal and just start to look, you'll get overwhelmed with the amount of names and people and everything that comes in it. It's overwhelming. And to look through all of that film, evaluating who fits you, who is this kid, what is this kid, it becomes overwhelming. All right, let's get ready to take a break, everybody. I'll come back on the other side. We're going to have Coach Brittany Williams, the softball coach over at Southern University, is going to tell you what's happening and coming up over with that program, as we need your support. So you guys stay tuned. We'll be right back. More to Jaguar Journal.
All right, here's the top 5.
Oh, man, my HBCU top 5. Hey, final ranking. Let's look at it. Delaware State had a phenomenal year. They came up just short in the MEAC championship against South Carolina State. But I think in the first year of Deshaun Jackson, you got to say, man, hats off to the work that guy and his team did to be able to have the success that they had this year. One of the top rushing offenses in the country, and they handled themselves when it came to the MEAC conference. Congratulations to them. Let's go to number 4, Alabama State. For me, they're the number 4 team.
They were at home with 10 wins. I know a lot of people hated to see it, but with such a great season, they just didn't win the game that mattered, and that was against Jackson State. And unfortunately for them, with all the success they had this year, no postseason for Eddie Robinson and Alabama State. And I hated to see it from my man, Andrew Body, but unfortunately, it was one game. You see that 7-1. It was that one that held them out of postseason. Now, the next three teams that's above all went to postseason, starting with Jackson State, who beat Alabama State and won the SWAC East. Shout out to Jackson State for the success that they had this year. Once again, they held a SWAC championship. They won yet another SWAC East division title. And with all the up and down that they've had this year, they found ways to win and once again hold on to a SWAC East division title. Now coming in at number 2, the team that beat Jackson State, right? Prairie View A&M, first-year coach Tremaine Jackson within this conference. Success, 10 wins, played for a national championship for the first time since the 60s. 7-1, their one loss was to number 4 Alabama State. But I think if you Prairie View fans, you got to get behind Tremaine Jackson. The energy that he gave you this year, he talked it and he bagged it up. And for that, you have to get behind him. I don't know what kind of campaigns y'all got to do over in Pantherland, but you better do it quick, fast, and in a hurry. In Pantherland to help this man be successful, whether that's buying season tickets, whether that's putting into the NIL, whether that's supporting with whatever way. This man has shown you he's a proven winner in year one. He's done something great by taking you to the Celebration Bowl, which you came up 2 points shy against the team I got number 1 as we finish the season. That's Chennis Berry, who, first of all, has not lost a conference game in the MEAC conference since he's been a head coach. Back-to-back camps, back-to-back coach of the year. Boo. And not only that,
shouldn't have got that either.
To the Celebration Bowl. Scotty gonna keep hating, but I'll let you shine when you shine. But at the end of the day, Chennis Berry pointed to the skies. I know he prayed like hell at halftime, and his prayers was answered. The Lord pulled them through. And they are now the Black College National Champions and the Celebration Bowl champions in 2025. So here's my final one for the 2025 season. All of these teams, hats off to you. Great season. Number 5, Delaware State. Number 4, Alabama State. Number 3, Jackson State. Number 2, Prairie View A&M. And number 1, the Black College National Champions.
All right, everybody, we're back. It's the Jaguar Journal. Good morning to everybody. I'm Perry White. Glad to have you guys with us. Good morning to everybody around the Baton Rouge capital city area. Listen to us on Talk 107.3 FM and everybody watching on our YouTube and Facebook across the world. Glad to have you guys, and good morning. Very special guest here on the show this morning. She is the head softball coach over at Southern University, Coach Brittany Williams. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning. Good morning, Jag Nation.
You up? You good? You running this morning?
I'm up and moving.
I'm trying. I was telling the story. I don't know. You know, I know how it is with women in the age, so I don't want you to tell your age. But I don't know if you grew up in the era of the back in the day with the car with the 4 or 5 keys, and in the morning you had to go warm it up and hit the gas and let it. You know about that?
I know about that.
That's me this morning. I'm the car trying to warm up, trying to get.
No right? Push to start, huh?
Huh?
I said no push to start, no remote start.
No, we don't just get in and drive off. Like, we can't do that this morning. I'm getting warmed up. You got to hit the gas a little bit, the gas pedal a little bit, and crank it up and get it going. It's rough on me this morning. But for you, Coach Williams, glad to have you here on the show. Everybody out there, she's the softball coach over at Southern University. You had some success last year with your program. You saw you headed in the right direction. And as you head in the right direction, you're talking about camps, getting kids involved, young people involved, getting the community involved. You have a camp coming up next month in January. Talk to us about it.
Yes, we have a camp January 17th. So we've expanded it to all ages. We have a mini camp for the young ones that's 4 to 12 years old. And we have a prospect age clinic as well. So those that are prospect age in high school, we have a clinic there. We're starting to do these more often because we want to develop more of a relationship with our local softball players and kids that are trying to learn the game, just starting out. And then they get a chance to come to our campus, meet our team, meet the coaching staff, and see how we do it at Southern University.
Now, the culture that you have instilled in Southern and that you want, young people to see as you talk about being prospects and everything else, What is it that you want them to take away by the time they leave that camp and get a chance to interact with you and be around the campus and see what this program is like that you're building over there?
Yes, I want them to know that there's more than one way to be successful at a skill. So when you come to our clinics or you come to our camps, we take what you have already learned, what you've already been working on, and we try to help you perfect that and get that to work for you the best that you can to make you successful. So as people walk away, I always ask, hey, what's the one thing that you learned or one thing that you could take away? And it's always something skill related, some type of drill that they might not have been introduced to, that they can keep and grow and perfect. And then the next time they come, they build upon that.
Give the information for the people out there. You know, there may be somebody right now that's saying, hey, I'm going to sign my kid up for this. What's the information for them to know to be able to be a part of this camp?
Yes, you can follow us on social media. So we're at SU softball _ on all social media platforms. We have, TikTok, Facebook for, people like us, Instagram, all of that. And then from there, we have the flyer. It has the website on there. So it's southernutotalcamp.com, and it'll take you directly to the website with all the information.
I got some. Wait, people like us. What you trying to say? I'm old or something? Facebook? What you
Hey,
trying to say?
That's what my players say. I was like, did y'all see my thing on Facebook? It's like, Coach, nobody uses Facebook. I'm like, dang, for real?
I'm like, people like, what are you trying to say? Mike, you on Facebook, Mike? Okay, well, Mike said, I sell cars, so I got to be. So, no, Mike's not on Facebook.
Not for real, huh?
but, talk about that, this age of social media. Like, I think because I've just been talking about the transfer portal and this new world of recruiting, but social media matters when you're talking about these student athletes, correct?
Definitely. So we encourage ours to we still call it Twitter, but X. Tag us in your videos when you post it, and then DM us, because some people don't like to email. They'll send us messages on social media. So all that stuff is important. And then I've had people come to my camps and they're like, oh, we saw you guys' TikToks. Your team looks like they get along. The culture looks good. And I just kind of wanted to come and step on campus and, feel it. So social media is very good.
That plays a big part into it. And then, I think for some places they paint a picture, then you get there and it's like, well, this ain't what I thought it was going to be. Cause I had that conversation with somebody before. You ever been somewhere, I don't know how many people out there see something on social media where it looked like a hell of a vacation or a hell of a restaurant and they made it look amazing. You get there, it's like, man, this ain't what I thought this was going to be. But for you guys and for you and your staff, talk about your staff that'll be helping you with this camp in terms of finding these prospects and developing some talent.
Yes, so I do have someone new added to the staff this year. Her name is Alexandra Stevens. She's also local. So everybody on my staff is local. It's me, who grew up in Baton Rouge, went off to college, came back. Josh Sanford, which is also my assistant coach, graduated from Southern University, was a part of the Human Jukebox. Definitely helps us with recruiting local. And then Alexandra Stevens, who, like I said, I just added, she coached at Zachary High School and is now with us and is a hitting guru. So they'll get to come and meet these guys and, learn from them and their skill set.
I got about 2 minutes before I go to break. One question I got for you, and I got another one after. What is the softball scene like in this region? Is it strong when you talk about the high school students?
Yes, Louisiana has some great softball. High school is growing. Travel ball is very good, and we're trying to bridge the gap between the two. So we cater to high school teams, and we cater to travel ball teams as well.
And the last thing for me, once again, give the date, the information about the camp, the age groups, and what all they need to do to be a part of this camp so we can make sure this thing is successful as you continue to build over at Southern.
Yes, of course. The date is January 17th. My players will be there. The coaches will be there running the camp. We have activities for ages 4 through 12 or 13 to JUCO plus. The website is southernutotalsoftballcamp.com, or you can just email myself, Brittany, BRITTNEY, .williams01@sus.edu.
I remember how particular you were about that BRITTNEY. Hey, y'all make sure y'all get that part right. It's very particular.
Yes.
The Brittany's don't play about the way you spell it, right?
That's correct. That's correct.
Well, thank you, Coach Williams, for joining us this morning. I appreciate you for coming on. Happy holidays to you and your family. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all that wonderful stuff. Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, I don't know, whatever it is, but happy holidays to you. And I hope everybody out there with that information, and we'll be able to cut that up and share it, be able to send any of the young people that you know over to this camp to be able to be a part of it as this program over at Southern continues to build under Coach Williams and her staff. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you for having me, and Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to you all as well.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, everybody, let's get ready to take a break. We come back on this side. My man Kevin Baptiste is going to join me here in the studio. We're going to talk about some Southern football. Hey, I'm warming up a little bit. I don't know if y'all can tell. I'm warming up. I done moved away from the shoot around. I'm about ready for the tip-off and get the game going. So y'all stay tuned. We'll be back more to Jaguar Journal. right, everybody, we're back. It's the Jaguar Journal. Good morning to everybody out there. I'm Perry White. Glad to have you guys with us. Hey, good morning to everybody listening on Talk 107.3 FM on the Baton Rouge, capital city area radio waves. Good morning. Glad to have you guys with us and everybody watching all across the world on our Facebook and YouTube. Thank you for tuning in this morning. Of course, keep up with the Jaguar Journal on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify. We're on X. We're on Instagram. Mike got us TikToking as well as Facebook, and hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel. Glad to have you guys, and glad to have my man, very special guest here in the studio, my man Kevin Baptiste,
AFB.
Look, I almost said something. I had to stop myself. Thank you.
I was gonna let you finish it. I was like, oh, he gonna continue. Oh, let me help him out.
It's so many of them W's to give me sometime. Thank you. I didn't want to. Hey, I know how y'all get. I watch. What's it? Ron Burgundy. I see how the news stations can meet in the park and throw hands. So I ain't want them problems this morning, right?
Truth be told, there may be beef like that between like the higher ups in news. Us in sports, we don't have that.
Okay.
All right.
We
do the same crazy assignments, work the same crazy hours. So
y'all don't meet up in random parks once a month and just brawl it out.
I mean, we might meet up in a random park and drink something after a long game or something. Like, man, we just went through watching this. Let's just.
I take it that was what it was after this Southern football season, right?
It may or may not have been. I ain't gonna say nothing. It may or may not have been.
Well, Kevin, man, glad to have you in. Of course, man.
Yes, sir.
Everybody wants to talk about the Marshall Faulk hire. It's the hot topic, right? It was the reason Southern named Marshall Faulk the head coach. It was supposed to turn heads. It was supposed to be the headliner. It's supposed to be what it is because guess what? He's an NFL great. He's a Hall of Famer. He's a Louisiana guy, 9th Ward, New Orleans, went to Carver, ultimately went over to the West Coast to play his college career. Running backs coach this year at the University of Colorado under Coach Deion Sanders, and now he's the head coach at Southern University. Let's start there before we even get into the staff. But for you were there just like I was for the press conference and the introduction of Coach Marshall Faulk. Of course, we looked around the room. You saw all the higher-ups from the Southern. You saw the higher-ups from the community. Then you saw some great alums like Avery Johnson, Aeneas Williams, who spoke highly of him, who seemed to have been at the table a part of this. And then everybody basically said, hey, this is Tony Clayton's guy who's the chair of the board. This is guy. And you can tell
hey.
You can tell this is his guy at that press conference. But for you, the dust is settled. But from the initial thought of the pick, Marshall Faulk.
Well, first off, before I get into the whole Southern Marshall Faulk aspect, I mean, let's get into, I guess Southern going with the times. I mean, we see a lot of this happening with a bunch of HBCU programs that go into that pool of taking former NFL Hall of Famers or well-known NFL guys. And from my perspective, it's like there is no in between with these type of things. Mm-hmm. Like either it's very, very good or it's very, very bad. Mm-hmm. Right now, I mean, we have a long way before determining that. But I would say so far from what we've seen in these, it's been 3 weeks now since he's officially been hired. I mean, he's been saying all the right things.
It creates the excitement that you need after a season like this.
They definitely set the tone in that press conference. I mean, just having, like you said, having Aeneas, having Avery Johnson, two greats coming back, and just being there for this moment. I mean, when you got Avery Johnson saying, "I've never been to a football, I've never been to a football
guys,
press conference."
I'm a basketball guy, but I'm here to support my friend Aeneas, and I'm here.
Yeah, man, him. Good job.
Are you like that one?
Yeah, good job. But no, him coming in, being here, Marshall saying how much those two, were key components. And him coming to Southern, and yeah, I mean, just everything that he said on the mic as far as I mean, just what his plans for Southern, not just trying to help this program, win on the field but off the field, asking out, reaching out to the fan base, the support. I know, historically, Southern has been one of the ones, but this not them times no more. If we're gonna get to where we want to be, it's gonna take all your support, not just showing up to the game and staying the entire time, but also, your pocketbooks. And like I said, just all around, just bringing some new juice to a program that needs it after last year. So So far, I'm a fan of Marshall Faulk. Like I said, he has been killing just about every press run he's been on so far.
I need to get him here on the Jaguar Journal. I hadn't even had a chance to. On that day, so many people grabbed and was talking. I was like, man, look, you ain't going nowhere no time soon. I'll grab you and get a chance to talk to you when I get a chance. And for me, I will say this. I have to, and a lot of people ask me, how do you feel about it, Perry? I am a sit back and wait in this situation moment, because I would say this. The hire didn't wow me. I like Marshall Faulk as the NFL guy, right? I watched Marshall Faulk play in the NFL. I liked it for that. And I guess for me to have said what I'm saying is, I got on these airwaves, and for weeks I was saying we got to have a proven football coach, somebody with a track record, somebody that's shown no matter where they've gone, you saw elevation. Mm-hmm. So with Marshall Faulk, I get the resources and the people that he can bring around, and we'll get to that as we start to talk about the staff. But that's the part when people say, well, Perry, how do you feel about it? And I'm like, there's really no resume for me to build off of. So his resume is going to be basically in front of us, watching it live of him, being a head coach for the first time. So I really don't have like a direction. I'm a sit back and wait type of guy. I want him to be successful. Now that he's here, I'm behind him, right?
Right.
Hey, hell, I got to roll with it, and I'm going to roll with it. But it's like I don't have any thought or feeling towards it. I can't say, man, I think Southern going to win it all next. Like, I don't know, because when you don't have any body of work behind you in terms of being a head coach, I don't know what to expect. I don't know what's going to be your specialty. I hear he's the offensive guru. You sit him down and watch film, he can break offense down. I don't know what an identity will look like under him, because once again, he's never been a head coach, so we don't know what that looks like.
Well, so far, I like his mindset. I like his attitude towards it. I mean, you got some coaches, they'll come in just talking all that big stuff about what they can do in this first year, and I guess just kind of throwing off the naysayers. I mean, point be proven. I mean, I asked them during the Q&A that first day. I was like, what would you say to those who say you have no experience as a head coach?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I would say nothing. I mean, it's no secret. I mean, I know, everyone knows that I've never been a head coach. So I mean, we just got wait and see how the process plays out. And I can respect that answer.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't give no BS. Oh, I mean, well, I'll just tell people they don't know what I'm about. I mean, he just very upset. You just gotta wait and see. And I mean,
Stump Mitchell came in here and told us we was going undefeated.
I still can't. I don't remember that.
He said we're going undefeated, baby.
I may have still been in high school when that happened. But yeah, see, you can't come out and say that. You cannot come out and say that. So I mean, at least he's being truthful and honest with himself. So I can respect that. I mean, at the same time, I mean, you got to start somewhere. And it seems like nowadays, the SWAC and other HBCUs, they have become that stepping stone for head coaches. Mm-hmm. And again, like we say, it's really, really good or it's really, really bad. And I see at the minimum, these people hiring NFL head coaches, even if the wins take a while, at the minimum, it might bring some business.
Yeah,
it's going to get people talking.
We saw it in the MEAC, right? Deshaun Jackson in year one, never been a head coach, found success at Delaware State, right? They were one of the top, if not the top rushing team in all of FCS football in year one. I had a chance to talk to their offensive coordinator, Nemo Washington. He said, man, we just had to come in and work with what we had, and then we're going to build from that. But then on the other side of that, take a name like Michael Vick, ended the season on like a 10-game losing streak at Norfolk State, right? They thought things can get better once they moved from Dawson Otis, but they found out this is tough.
Yeah, I heard about how that's going. We got a guy who works in Wavy Beach now who tells me how that whole process going with Michael Vick. Well, from what I hear, he kind of treats that like a 9 to 5.
Like, do you really want to be here?
Yeah.
And that's the thing, I guess, for me, that's going to have to grow for Marshall Faulk. I'm excited about it. I can tell Deshaun Jackson wants to be there.
Yes.
This is what he wants to do. And you can see it in his energy. His energy is letting you know, I'm going to let the naysayers know this is my call and this is what I want to do. Michael Vick is more lethargic, like, what's up, dude? I got to go coach later, I'll catch y'all, And I want to see, don't laugh at me, man. I want to see.
You ain't lying.
Yeah. I want to see what Coach Faulk looks like now in that position and in that role. Is this something that he's just wanting to try, or is he serious about this and is going to take it serious to the point? And I mean, I know he's serious, but there's a different level of serious when it comes to being a head coach, especially if you have not done it before, to realize, man, it's going to be some sleepless nights, coach. It's going to be some stress. You at a place that says we have low resources. You're not always going to get a yes. You're going to probably get some no's. And when you get those no's, if it's something you want, you're going to probably have to go do the extra and go above and beyond on your side in order to make things done. And that brings added pressure to the job.
Well, it's a good thing that he worked under Deion Sanders for a year. I mean, I guess that's another thing that he talked about in that Q&A. He was like, he did lean on Deion, or Coach Prime, as they call him, for, I guess, some guidance just to know what he was getting into by taking this job. And I remember he said, he asked Deion, he's like, man, how's the SWAC? And Deion told him, like, yeah, it's something, yeah. but it's worth it, because at the end of the day, the people really care.
Yeah.
And you can't say that about a lot of schools, especially in the FCS, as far as fan support. So as long as Falk want to take on that challenge and knows what he's getting himself into, I can respect it.
And for me, I think for the big part, the fan base is going to have to get behind him. Now, this is the part with the fan base with Falk, the growing pains of being a head coach, because if it's not success immediately, but with the amount of money that he's making and the amount of investment being put into this program, it almost feels it has to be success immediately.
Yeah, it has to be. It has to be. I mean, nowadays people want, microwave results. I mean, in this, social media, everybody, talks and everything. I mean, but at the same time, I mean, it still might take a little time. I mean,
what's a little time?
I mean, maybe about 2, 3.
No, we need 6 months.
6 months?
6 months.
Wow. You want it now.
Hey.
You want that PV Tremaine Jackson?
Yeah. He said, look, we turned it with 70 players. That's just the way the game is these days. And I mean, that took him all the way to the Celebration Bowl. So if you can evaluate, develop, and put it together the right way, success can be there.
I will say, let me see how he puts his roster together, because I feel like that they are really about to attack the portal. I mean, yeah, early signing, they just got started. I mean, we haven't really seen many high schoolers commit, but I feel like that they've been putting all their eggs in this portal basket coming up. So after that, I'll get back to your 6 months evaluation. I can already see Perry right now with the pitchforks and knives in November.
No, I'm not. I believe in giving the coach time, but this is the problem with the time.
Yeah.
This is why I was saying Southern needed a guy who already had that previous coaching experience, because we're in a situation with all of the money and investment that they're willing to shell into this, and the way the Jaguar Nation is right now, no doubt about it. Whoever they hired, the writing was on the wall. You better go to a Celebration Bowl. Yes. Simple as that.
Yeah.
We're not trying to go just to a SWAC championship. You damn near have to. Can I say that? Too late, did. You got to host a SWAC championship, because we're tired of watching everybody else do it, and go to a Celebration Bowl. That's the expectations here.
Right.
And the fan base coming off the dismal season that we had, it's like, all right, whoever comes in, let's go.
That's correct. But you got to keep it reality. I mean, going from 2-10 to the Celebration Bowl immediately.
Yeah.
2-10 to the Southland Championship, to the SEC Championship. That's turnaround of the century type stuff. I think. Yeah. I mean, Tulane may have did a few years ago. I mean, they went from like a very horrible record to the AAC Championship. But at the same time, you got to be realistic sometimes.
Yeah. Am I being too hard on him?
I mean, it's 6 months. Oof.
Yeah, I'm being too hard on him.
Hey, just a little bit.
Okay, I'll lighten up. Let's get ready to take a break, everybody. We'll come back on the side. We'll talk about the coaching staff at Southern. Got my man Kevin Baptiste here in the studio with me. I'm Perry White. It's the Jaguar Journal. We'll be right back.
By Carlos Funchess' group. He's in his 8th season at Southern. Actually been on campus for 21 years with the program. Anywhere in the SWAC to win an NCAA tournament game.
Well, that pressure caused a turnover for Arizona.
Oh, nice bucket by Porter. Arizona in its 53rd season of basketball, trying to defend in the paint, and that is just tough to defend off the window. Porter.
You put it on the ground as a post player. I always said no more than one dribble, but it's a show and go, and she said, give me the ball.
Tate inside, beautiful pass, finished by Hall. The Lady Jags is 7. Sugapong throwing up a prayer that is not answered. Purdue connects. Nice take by Lagway. Came up short. Cam Kitchen all alone. She's not going to miss from there.
Yeah, she took off, you know.
And this is with leading scorer Hurston being held to just 2 points. That triple is good. Tremendous make and take by Arizona with an opportunity to add to its 6-0 run. Chance of U of A coming down. Purdue for 3. You betcha. 8 points. Mickey Purdue with a dozen to lead all scorers. Nice find. 3 on the way is wet. Okay, Dixon. Lady Jags will back it back out. Corner 3. That is good. Dixon from either side of the floor. She now has 3 made three-pointers on the season, 2 here. And Cunningham back out. Got to get it up. And that 3 is good by Reed, bringing rain out of the cloud. 28 minutes, in fact. Step through is good by Lagway. I thought she was going to get tripped up. She does not. What a finish.
That was a really nice basket by Delancey, and Arizona forced a lot. Oh, that was a great basket by Francois.
Nice answer by Arizona.
If they can on the sideline, there it is, and there it is.
Cunningham gives it up. Purdue pushing pace.
And a foul. If they can on the sideline, there it is, and there it is.
Cunningham gives it up. Purdue pushing pace.
And a foul. And a foul.
Too strong. Francois Oboard short. Francois again up and in.
Big basket there by Francois following her own miss.
And that is going to do it. Southern can celebrate, and they have earned it. Handing Arizona.
All right, everybody, we're back. It's the Jaguar Journal. Good morning. I'm Perry White. Got my man Kevin Baptiste here in the studio with me this morning. We're talking Southern University football. Kevin, you know, we just talked about Falk, and I'm not being hard on him, but the Jaguar Nation can be hard on him.
Absolutely.
And
That should be.
This is a tough place, and I think people have learned Baton Rouge when it comes to football. Hey, you better come ready to work.
Hey, name me another market where you've had two coaching transactions in the same year, weeks apart from each other. Weeks apart from each other. Just imagine us at the station scrambling around trying to like, come on, bro. Can we talk about something else besides coaches getting fired, bro?
No.
Like, come on.
In Baton Rouge, it's about football. And when you got prideful fan bases like LSU and Southern with championships and rich history and tradition, it comes with an added pressure. And you got to be able to fit that culture. And guess what? You got to ignite that culture, because the culture here is championships. And that's a good thing to be, because I don't want to be around no loser stuff. I like winner stuff. And I think that's what people got to understand about Southern on the outside. Southern fans like to brag about winning. And winning, for a long time, they said the SWAC stood for not just the Southwestern Athletic Conference, but for Southern wins another championship. And it's been some time. So now we get Coach Falk in. Let's talk about his staff and give us some of the names. Let's start on the offensive side in terms of the offensive coordinator, because I think it went differently than what people thought. The name that was going around at first was going to be Curtis Johnson, was going to be the offensive coordinator. But then in the board meeting, boom, we got a flip of a coin, and it was something different.
So it's funny, I love Southern, but we know they like to keep things, tight to the vest. So,
Mm-hmm.
so I think what happened was everybody was going off the packet for the board meeting.
Mm-hmm.
And I read the packet, and I seen, like I said, some other people, some other stations, I ain't gonna say no names, they put it out that Curtis Johnson was going to be the OC. And I'm like, wait a minute, Curtis Johnson is a 64-year-old who has never been an OC. So I'm like, he can't be the offensive coordinator, right? And I guess on the packet it said that he would be replacing Mark Frederick.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, no, let me do some digging about this. That's why I made some phone calls, and I learned that he would be the general manager in a sense. So then Falk comes out and says that he is the general manager / assistant head coach. So I like it in the sense that when you talk about having that head coaching experience or lack thereof,
Mm-hmm.
him bringing on Curtis, someone who has decades upon decades of coaching experience.
Former head coach at Tulane.
Even a head coach in the XFL, which I don't like spring football, but he was a head coach somewhere. not a fan of that XFL stuff. But no, man. Bringing in Curtis, someone who, like I said, who's been through the trenches, knows all about being a head coach, a fellow New Orleans boy at that. I like, bringing in, I guess, that sort of mentor, I guess, to help Falk whenever those tough times come. So I guess that will help him in a sense. So I hear the offensive coordinator will be Kyle Caskey. Now, it's funny because, again, this is another thing about Southern keeping things close to the vest. So Marshall Falk said verbatim in the board meeting that Kyle Caskey will be his offensive coordinator. But our sources, we've heard that Caskey hasn't officially accepted the offer yet.
Really?
Yeah. He hasn't accepted. But again, Falk said it verbatim in the board meeting. So I'm still going off the head coach's word. This might just be some G14 classified stuff. So for now, I'm gonna still say it's Caskey. But yeah, he has experience as a NFL assistant. 12 years. Did not know until a few days ago that he was at LSU as an analyst during the 2021 season. I guess that season was such a dud for everybody. It came and went. So yeah, of course, whenever your head coach is an NFL guy, he's gonna bring in some more of that NFL experience. Tight ends coach Ben Miles.
Hey, that's the one everybody just seen. Oh, that's Les Miles.
That's Les Miles' son. That's Les Miles' son. Yeah,
that within itself excites people. I'm like, all right,
yeah. As long as he don't, get that old 1960s, toss power stuff. But he ain't gonna be the OC.
Yeah.
But no, Ben Miles, Catholic High alum, has had stints on staff at Florida State and Texas A&M. He's gonna be tight ends coach. I feel like this is more so of a recruiting thing. You bring in a Baton Rouge guy. He still has all those connections at Catholic High and other places around Baton Rouge. So this is one of those moves to get back into that the 225 zone. And then a defensive coordinator, Ty Lights, former teammate of Falk with the Rams. They were on the same team. They won Super Bowl 34 together. He was a Pro Bowler that year also a multi-time All-American at Notre Dame. His last coaching stint was at Notre Dame, 2015, 2019, under Brian Kelly. How about that? All these Baton Rouge connections. So it seemed like one thing for sure on the staff is of familiarity, but as we know, that's life. It ain't about what you know; it's about who you know. But at the end, so far I like this staff because as I tweeted out, I don't know if people seen my tweet. It's something different. All right, it's a breath of fresh air. It's not the same names that you've heard across the SWAC and across HBCUs.
Boy.
It's not. It's not the same names. It's younger guys who could bring, I guess, probably that new sense of football and have a better connection with this current generation and how they operate.
And when they walk into the building, they see it differently.
Yeah.
They're not just going along to get along. They say, no, we need to make changes. Things have to be able to move differently around here if we're going to be successful. And I don't have a problem with that when someone looks around the building and you see it differently. For me, that's the change Southern needs right now.
Yeah, because there's so much. For the longest, they always say, man, we want to go back to them old days. We want to go back to them Pete Richardson days. Guys.
And then, just work with what you got. Do with what make the best of what you have. These guys, I believe, are going to say, look, I know what we have, but we can do better.
Yeah.
Let's go out here. Let's create, and for you, what that role of Falk, now that you have Curtis as the GM, Falk is basically, in my opinion, going to be like the athletic director, just over football. But, it's going to be his job to not just focus on that football program, but like you said, go into doors, into meetings of people that otherwise maybe those people at Southern cannot go have those conversations with. But for him to go find those sponsorships and partnerships and try to find extra finances to come into that program.
Yeah. I think, Falk, I think Curtis, I don't think, he ain't gonna step on Falk toes and anything. I said, these are two New Orleans boys. I didn't know that Curtis actually recruited Falk to San Diego State, which makes a hell of a lot of sense. I was wondering how he ended up that far, over. But no, I like. I think Falk is not being, in his own head. You got some guys when they become a head coach, like, oh, it's my way or the highway.
Mm-hmm.
He's actually going to listen to other guys. He's going to listen to Curtis. He's going to listen to the kids, their thought process. Now, one thing I love that he said was his first time meeting the team, he asked them, guys, what went wrong?
Mm-hmm.
What's your feeling? What do you think needs to improve? He didn't come in saying, yeah, guys, I'm Marshall Falk, this is he didn't pull the Dion, most of y'all won't have a job.
I'm bringing my own luggage.
I'm bringing my own luggage. I feel like that he is actually a listener. So as long as you are willing to, kind of take some guidance, some feedback, knowing that you don't have this experience, I think that's a plus.
Let's look around at the SWAC as a whole, because listen, Southern fans know you are vocal when Southern ain't doing right, and then when Southern is doing right. But when you look around at the SWAC now, you look at coaching staffs. Of course, you got to look at Tremaine Jackson, who won Coach of the Year. Still got to keep your eye on T.C. Taylor and Jackson State and that staff. Other places have made changes like FAMU. Cozy is out the way. But now when you look at this staff, Eddie Robinson at Alabama State. When you look at this staff right here, just off of what you see now, because there's no body of work behind it, does this elevate them, in your opinion, to seem like this probably the best collective of a staff within the conference?
Best overall? Like just best staff in the SWAC?
Because like you said, it ain't the same old. It's different. The experience that these guys have coming from, not necessarily from being coordinators and head coaches, but just they've been around the block, I would say.
Yeah.
And that block ain't the SWAC block.
Mm-hmm. I would say on paper, maybe. I would say, yeah, on paper. I mean, you still got to see it, let it play out. But on paper, I mean, you have everything. I mean, you got the college experience, you got the NFL experience, you got the Louisiana connections. That's one thing. We all know how fertile the recruiting ground is in this state, and how long that names go a long way. I mean, Curtis Johnson, Marshall Falk, and you say New Orleans.
First thing somebody said to me when they heard Curtis Johnson, they were like, well, at least I know we're going to have some receivers.
Yeah. He has a track record, with receivers. And Falk and, Ty, being Super Bowl champions. I mean, that really, that excites kids and really, wants them want to learn from true winners. So I think, on paper, as far as the collection of stuff and knowing the landscape, it's up there, but I can't just give them the baton right now.
It's the wait and see.
Yeah, wait and see to at least spring ball. We still got a long ways to go as far as completing out the rest of the staff. There are names being floated out right now, but nothing confirmed or reported so far.
I'm looking at as we move forward with this program, the identity, and more so than the identity, the recruiting. How am I trying to put this? So many people, because you say the Louisiana guys, so many Louisiana connections. Is there going to be, you're going to see the connections of the guys who went off in the transfer portal, the guys who went off to the big schools, and maybe it ain't working out, but they're Louisiana guy, hey, come on home. On top of all the talent that's around Louisiana, especially at the high school level, especially in the New Orleans, Baton Rouge, River Parish, this just seems like this is the fit to be able to bring everybody home, whether you're a high school kid or the kid who thought you were going to have success somewhere and you didn't. Hey, come on back home and play for the Jaguars.
Yeah, that could be a thing. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Because at the minimum, they'll get people in the stadiums. It'll get people in the stadiums, and it'll get people wanting to travel, which, that's always something that's got me recently, because, looking down Southern's roster, they got a good bit of Louisiana boys, but they don't have enough.
Let me ask you this then before we get ready to get out of here. Saying that, looking at this season and now Falk and his staff taking over, what does this turn around in the areas of the team that we saw that struggle, like the quarterback position, special teams? What for you, when you look at this, what is going to make this successful for them to get this thing built, headed in the right direction, in your opinion?
I would say knowing your identity, knowing what you want to be whenever you get on the field. Because I feel like Southern, for the last few years, since Oldham's, they have not had an identity. especially offensively. With Oldham, you know they're gonna go out there, they're gonna ground and pound.
Mm-hmm.
Offensively, after that, it's just all right, guys. Let's just go out there and do stuff and see what happens. Yeah, I guess being true to yourself, and I mean, just simple. This is gonna sound kind of cliche, but I mean, just simple discipline.
Yeah.
This discipline has not been good.
Discipline.
I'm talking penalties, special teams, just little things. So just not jumping off sides on the regular. I mean, so just those things. I mean, just holding on the little things and knowing that, hey, if you make these mistakes, there will be consequences. And we have this other guy who is willing to take your spot and might be better than you. So I guess just simple discipline and knowing how you want to play the game week in and week out.
A fundamentally sound team with an identity.
That's it.
That'll take you a long way.
That's it. I mean, I'll relate it to a team like St. Charles Catholic in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Put it like this. They don't have the fastest guys. They don't have a lot of the D1 guys. But I love watching that team play because they are so fundamentally sound.
Mm-hmm.
All right. They'll beat you in a low-scoring game. They'll just methodically move down the field with little handoffs and options. Then when you biting on that, they'll hit you with a little tight end crosser across the field.
And teams like that let you beat yourself.
Exactly.
When you make a mistake, they're going to capitalize off of it.
And I'm glad you said that because what happened in the state championship? What happened in the state championship? I'm any Archbishop Shaw people listening, I'm sorry, but hey.
Let you beat yourself because it comes down to discipline. My man, Kevin Baptiste. Kevin, let everybody know where they can keep up with you and find you, man.
You can find me on Twitter /X and Instagram at KBaptiste Jr. and WAFB Sports 6 and 10 p.m. And yeah, man, just continue to follow. Hope y'all have a great holidays, great Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's, and be ready for another football season coming. We got to get through basketball and baseball and this stuff. But be ready for another football season coming in the spring because I am definitely looking forward to it. This is one of the most special Southern seasons I'm going to be looking forward to since I've been on the beat.
And you know one thing about it, as we get ready to go to break, at least Marshall Falk is going to be good with the media. In Baton Rouge, you got to be good with the media.
You got to be.
You can't be sitting there telling us they dropped 8, and we know that well they didn't drop 8. My man Chris still want his apology from Coach Dooley.
That story will live in lore forever. That story will never go away, ever.
My man Kevin Baptiste, thank you for coming in this morning. For everybody else out there listening, we're about to get ready to take a break. We come back on this side, man. The director of bands at Southern University, my man Dr. Kendrick Taylor. Southern won the Band of the Year last week over in Atlanta. So we're going to talk about that. You guys stay tuned. We'll be right back. More to Jaguar Journal.
And Southern trying to make it 2 straight wins against a Power 4. As we see the Houston starting 5, Kiera Merchant is not available today. It's Peguero, Jones, Hunter. Extra pass to the left wing. Shot clock is at 5. Tate, contested 3 for Hurston, and she hits. Cunningham has the binoculars. Houston has been very select. And Umeli. And Hunter hits the 3.
Let's see if they can get a kill. Try to get 3.
The Southern Jaguars, Wednesday, they did it at the McHale Center. Upsetting Arizona today, they come to Virginia Center and they upset another Big 12 foe.
All right, everybody, we're back. It's the Jaguar Journal. Good morning to everybody. I'm Perry White. Glad to have you guys with us. Good morning to everybody listening on Talk 107.3 FM across the Baton Rouge capital city area, and everybody listening and watching on our YouTube and Facebook. Good morning. Be sure to keep up with the Jaguar Journal on Apple Podcasts, on X, on Spotify, on Instagram, Facebook, as well as subscribe to our YouTube channel. Mike got us rocking and rolling on TikTok as well. So continue to grow with us. And we're talking about growing. How about the Southern University Marching Band going over to Atlanta last week, being invited to participate in the Band of the Year award? They went against the defending champions, the Florida A&M Marching Band, the Marching 100, and Southern University Marching Band goes over and gets the victory. Brings back is my man John Grant, the executive director of not only the Band of the Year, but as well as the Cricket Celebration Bowl and the MEAC SWAC Challenge. He told me, he said, man, you guys won a national championship. treat it as such. And I'm going to for sure treat it as such because the man who was behind the entire thing is joining us this morning, my man, Dr. Kedrick Taylor, Director of Bands at Southern University. Good morning, Dr. Taylor.
Good morning. How you doing?
How does it feel to be a national champion, baby?
It feels good.
All that hard work and everything that you and your staff, I mean, you started in the A and you ended in the A and you brought it back, you know, hey, you did it for us, man, you and your staff, man. Talk to us about the preparation of getting ready to take that band over to try to defeat FAMU and then ultimately defeating them and getting that trophy.
I thank God we stay in the South because the weather we had preparing to go to Atlanta was real. I don't envy any of the bands that actually live in the North that witness that cold weather throughout the year. I don't envy them at all. Man, we preparing to go to Atlanta, and it was 30 degrees some days. It was rain when we were out there in it. So I always tell the students, hey, what you put in is what you get out. And they put a lot of work in, even in the inclement weather. They were still out there 2.5 hours in that cold, putting in work to make sure they perfect the drill, to make sure they perfect their steps, make sure everything was intact. So I commend the students for a job well done, you know, taking the charge to even go out there when, you know, a lot of people used to make band like it was like not a strong organization to be a part of, but I think some of the strongest people are a part of the band because not only do you have to know how to play the instrument, but you got to be conditioned to march, hold your leg up, and you got to be definitely an athlete to be able to do those things. So I commend the students and the staff on the job well done.
When ADL named Southern University as the band of the year, man, first thing went through your head?
I just was thanking God because I know without God we wouldn't have been in that position because you know, we've been through a lot. So I just in the moment I just was like, man, I was like, man, these students deserve this. They deserved it. Like, you know, a lot of people don't see the ins and outs of what make those organizations, but it was a lot of work that had to take place. And we had a young band, so, you know, our upperclassmen, normally bands or even organizations, you could tell how great an organization is going to be based on what they bring back. You know, usually when you bring in new people, they got to get adjusted and they got to learn how to do things. So I just commend the students for stepping up, coming in, and being teachable, coachable, and trainable, and being receptive to the things that we taught them throughout the year. And you can see the growth of the band throughout the year. And I was just amazed at when I heard Southern University band. I just was puzzled. Everybody else was like jumping up and cheering. I just stood there. I was puzzled because I couldn't, not that I couldn't believe it, but it was just, you know how you know something that you're supposed to get, but then when it finally happens, and then you like, man, it really happened.
Mm-hmm.
So it was one of those moments for me.
Man, you know, I was there with you guys, and when I heard it and I looked over across the field and I saw the students, as you talk about, who put in that hard work along with you as the staff, man, when I saw the excitement, I said, man, that's what it's all about right there. That's what makes this great at the end of the day, knowing when you put in that hard work and you come to Southern, that you're coming here to be the best. And I bring that up to say, at Southern University is all about being a winner. That we don't have a loser's mentality as a university, and as we associate Southern to us as fans, we understand what's at stake because we have a standard and we have an expectation. And what you guys did was just pretty much solidify what that standard is and what that expectation. That is, we go out and we win and we bring that back home so we can brag about our wins to say, this is why we're great. This is why we're Southern. This is what we do it for. And when I saw those students jump up, man, in the stands and just enjoy that's what I was like. They would never forget this moment that they won the Band of the Year and defeated defending champion Florida A&M. That was exciting for me alone, Dr. Taylor.
It was exciting. And, you know, for many years, you know, we've always said we had the best band. But it wasn't just something that we talk about or say. It's something that has been on display for many years. I don't care what venue this band go to. Nobody going to get popcorn. Nobody's going to get soda, beer, or nothing. You're going to stay and watch the show because you know that this band is going to put on the show. So I would say it's well deserved. Like, I've heard students say, man, I came to Southern just because I wanted to see the band in live. Like, I never saw the band. So, you know, I heard about it, and, you know, so to me, that's huge. Having an opportunity to go out and showcase what we do on a day-to-day to the world, because this is national, you know. So to be able to be on that platform and let them actually see what we do at that level, I was like, man, you know, this is something that more people need to see. I was like, you know, more people need to know about this band. You know, you got judges from Ohio State saying, man, we can't do nothing with this. And as great as a program they have, you know, but they see the value. They see the value of the human jukebox. Like, everybody sees the value. Even our rivals, they see the value. They see the value because they practice so hard. They keep those kids in practice late. But we have the same practice schedule for everybody. Like, we don't over-prepare for nobody. We prepare the same way because we preparing against ourselves. We want to be better than our last performance. And I will say that this last performance by far was one of our best performances of the season. From execution to the sound, I mean, it just was amazing.
I told you what my mama said. Hey, look, everybody. My mama watched it. She said she heard that Lately by Stevie Wonder. She said, Perry, that Dr. Taylor, when he wrote that, he meant that thing. She said, that was her exact words. She said he meant that thing. That sounded good, man. So for you and everybody who wants to see the show, if you want to watch and see what it looks like to win the Band of the Year, why Southern has the #1 band in the land, you can go to the Human Jukebox Media page on YouTube, and you'll get a chance to watch that show and watch the stand battles, watch the entire thing, and see how Southern won this thing. Dr. Taylor, man, thank you for coming on this morning, man. Before I let you go, anything coming up for the band that people ought to be watching out for?
Yes, man, we actually going to Boca Raton in January to compete in another ballad band, but this one is just a showcase. But definitely, you want to go out there. It's going to be a great event. The weather, I hear, is great there. I've never been, but it's definitely an opportunity for our students to go and experience something different. So we'll be out there January, Martin Luther King weekend.
Well, man, that sounds exciting. I cannot wait. I love Florida. I hope all our Jaguars that are all in the surrounding area, that they end up there. And I'm sure if you want to keep up with the Southern University Human Jukebox, of course, you can keep up with the Southern University Marching Band across all social media as well as YouTube. That's my man, Dr. Kedrick Taylor, Director of Bands of the Band of the Year, Southern University Human Jukebox, man. Congratulations. Hey, I'm proud of you, dog. Hey, I love you. That's my dog right there. That's my boy. You and the whole staff, man. Congratulations, man. I'm happy for you guys, man.
Thank you so much, Pierre. Have a great one.
Yes, sir. All right, everybody, let's get ready to take a break, man. We come back on the other side. We're going to get ready to close things out. Stay tuned. More of the Jaguar Journal.
All right, here's the top 5.
Oh, man, my HBCU top 5. Hey, final ranking. Let's look at it. Delaware State had a phenomenal year. They came up just short in the MEAC championship against South Carolina State. But I think in the first year of Deshaun Jackson, you got to say, man, hats off to the work that guy and his team did to be able to have the success that they had this year. One of the top rushing offenses in the country, and they handled themselves when it came to the MEAC conference. Congratulations to them. Let's go to number 4, Alabama State. For me, they're the number 4 team. They were at home with 10 wins. I know a lot of people hated to see it, but with such a great season, they just didn't win the game that mattered, and that was against Jackson State. And unfortunately for them, with all the success they had this year, no postseason for Eddie Robinson and Alabama State. And I hated to see it from my man, Andrew Body, but unfortunately, it was one game. You see that 7-1. It was that one that held them out of postseason. Now, the next 3 teams that's above all went to postseason, starting with Jackson State, who beat Alabama State and won the SWAC East. Shout out to Jackson State for the success that they had this year. Once again, they held a SWAC championship. They won yet another SWAC East division title. And with all the up and down that they've had this year, they found ways to win and once again hold on to a SWAC East division title. Now coming in at number 2, the team that beat Jackson State, right? Prairie View A&M, first-year coach Tremaine Jackson within this conference. Success, 10 wins, played for a national championship for the first time since the 60s. 7-1, their one loss was to number 4 Alabama State. But I think if you Prairie View fans, you got to get behind Tremaine Jackson. The energy that he gave you this year, he talked it and he bagged it up. And for that, you have to get behind him. I don't know what kind of campaigns y'all got to do over in Pantherland, but you better do it quick, fast, and in a hurry. In Pantherland to help this man be successful, whether that's buying season tickets, whether that's putting into the NIL, whether that's supporting with whatever way. This man has shown you he's a proven winner in year 1. He's done something great by taking you to the Celebration Bowl, which you came up 2 points shy against the team I got number 1 as we finish the season. That's Chennis Berry, who, first of all, has not lost a conference game in the MEAC conference since he's been a head coach. Back-to-back camps, back-to-back coach of the year. Boo. And not only that,
shouldn't have got that either.
To the Celebration Bowl. Scotty gonna keep hating, but I'll let you shine when you shine. But at the end of the day, Chennis Berry pointed to the skies. I know he prayed like hell at halftime, and his prayers was answered. The Lord pulled them through, and they are now the Black College National Champions and the Celebration Bowl champions in 2025. So here's my final one for the 2025 season. All of these teams, hats off to you. Great season. Number 5, Delaware State. Number 4, Alabama State. Number 3, Jackson State. Number 2, Prairie View A&M. And number 1, the Black College National Champion.
All right, everybody. We're back. It's the Jaguar Journal. Good morning to everybody. Glad to have you guys with us. I'm Perry White. Good morning to everybody on Talk 107.3 FM. Listen across the Baton Rouge capital city area on the radio. And it's a big area in which we encompass, and everybody in the even bigger area on our YouTube and Facebook. Glad to have you guys with us. Be sure, please, to keep up with the Jaguar Journal on all these different areas. You can keep up with us on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, on X, on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, as well as YouTube. You can like, subscribe, do all of that stuff. Keep up with the Jaguar Journal as we continue to grow. We want you guys to grow with us. I want to thank my guest for today. Of course, Coach Brittany Williams, the softball coach over at Southern University. My man Kevin Baptiste coming in from WAFB, talking to us about Southern University football. And then my man, Dr. Kedrick Taylor, director of bands over at Southern University, of course, winning the Band of the Year. Man, it is the holiday season. Next time I talk to you guys, Christmas would have come and gone. Can you believe Christmas next week? Are you guys listening to Christmas music? Are you watching the Christmas movies? I watched the Christmas movie the other night that is an underrated Christmas movie, The Preacher's Wife, with Whitney Houston and Denzel Washington. Great movie, awesome movie, right? Everything ain't about the Grinch, right? Everybody want to watch the Grinch, right? It's okay. But I can't wait. A Christmas Story is one. Home Alone. I rock with all the Home Alone. So get your Christmas movies together. You know, bring back the holidays. You know, whether you however you look at it, at the end of the day, whether you agree with whatever comes with the holidays or not, just enjoy being around each other. And I know sometimes the holidays bring grief. That grief could be have lost a loved one. It's not the same like it used to be. You know, you may not have that pillar in the family that's holding things together like they used to. You know, there's so much that comes along with the holidays. But at the end of the day, just make sure that you have some love and enjoy your time with one another. If you do spend time with people, then if you don't, enjoy yourself and love yourself if you don't do nothing else. Enjoy and love yourself. And I got to give a shout out to everybody out there for just me, myself. I put out there for everybody to vote for me. Of course, HBCU Pass had different categories out there. And I was nominated for On Camera Talent of the Year. And guess what? Because you guys helped, Perry White won On Camera Talent of the Year. Can you believe that? So I appreciate you guys for all that you did with the support and the love. Listen, I tell you, we strong together. And that right there showed me that you guys rock with me, you stick with me, and I ended up winning that thing. Fan favorite. People's choice, as they call it. So I appreciate you guys. So you're now listening to Perry White, the on-camera talent of the year. It's been a great year. It really has. Had an opportunity to go to the Super Bowl with the band of the year with the band, worked on an Emmy Award-winning project, named 40 Under 40 by Southern University Alumni Federation, and now on-camera talent of the year. It's been all right with me. 2025, and I hope to make 2026 even better. My man Mike helps out a lot right here in the studio. Listen, Mike puts in a lot of work to make sure that we're good here. My man CJ Guidry does a lot behind the scenes, and I appreciate you guys, because without y'all, I tell y'all, I think I'd be talking to myself on Saturday mornings, because I'm like, who wants to get up and listen? And when you do radio, you just talking into a mic, and you don't know if anybody has it on. You just talking. You don't know if anybody's chiming in. The only way I know y'all fooling with me on social media and YouTube, because I see the comment sections. But at least y'all don't hate me. Now, some people do, but I appreciate that. And from the bottom of my heart, I want to tell you guys I love you, and I thank you for that, especially anytime I get to meet people out in the public and they say, man, I listen to the show. I'd be surprised of the people, and you'd be surprised. White, black, does not matter the color. There's tons of people who don't even have any association with Southern, but they listen to this show. And I appreciate that. So I thank you guys. I hope you have a safe and wonderful holiday. I hope everybody just have a loving spirit if you don't do nothing else. I'm a genuine person. I believe in love. I believe in positive energy. And we need that as a country, as a community, more than anything before. We need love. We spend too much time mugging and arguing and mad and upset about what? Somebody's color of their skin, because you don't like them. Spend time to focus on love and positive energy. And that's what I've done in 2025. And let me tell you, when you spend your time and do that, you'll be amazed at the wonderful accomplishments that come your way. And I'm here to tell you, put your energy towards that, and you'll realize how much your life will change when that energy then comes to change for you, and you get the things you've been wanting. When you wonder why things ain't working out, watch where you channel your energy. Control your energy. Don't let nobody upset you. Don't let nobody change your energy. Be positive and be loving. And that's what the holidays is all about. And the new year, because I know the gym membership's finna go up. Y'all gonna be in Planet Fitness and the rest of them for about, how many weeks will you give them, Mike? About 4 weeks, 6 weeks? 3 weeks. There it is. You know, my New Year's resolution, I gotta shed about 100 pounds. Stick with it then. Stick with it. So, thank you guys. Shout out to everybody out there. Hey, shout out to you guys that's the supporters. You guys are the real winners, and you don't even realize that. And that's why we love you so much, because without y'all, we wouldn't be doing this. They would have been took us off the air, been took us off social media, because it's like nobody's watching. But because of you guys, you're the real winners. You're the real people that we love, and we support you more than you think you support us, because without you, there will be no us. And so I hope you guys have a happy holiday, a wonderful season. Be safe out there. And I love you. That's all I can tell you. If you can't accept that, then okay, so what? It's nothing you can do about it, all right? You do last day, you just know I love you. So thank you from myself, Perry White, my man, Mike, CJ. Thank you. Happy holidays, and we'll see you after Christmas. Stay tuned. Hey, more of the Jaguar Journal next week, all right? What's going on, everybody? I am Perry White. I'm the host of the Jaguar Journal. I want to make sure that you guys tune in live each and every Saturday morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on 107.3 FM. We also have our affiliates in Alexandria, Louisiana, as well as down in New Orleans. And if you're not able to catch us on radio live, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel as well as follow us on Facebook. It's the Jaguar Journal.